Hello, hello, hello.
That's better. Today's Monday, the 10th of November, and for the next hour, we're going to spend it going through all the latest and greatest news from the world of AI from over the weekend and this morning. And then we're going to run through some product updates too and any leaks that we might see coming soon. So without further ado, let's jump into the first story, which is today a report from McKinsey. Here we are. So here's the McKinsey report. This is the state of AI in 2025. It covers agents, innovation, and transformation. This is always good if you are doing anything with AI in business, for instance, or just want to keep track on actually what's happening and the trends. Let me just refresh it because this is not rendering correctly for some reason. Okay, here we go. This was done, I don't know how many respondents it was, but it says all survey respondents says that organizations are using AI and have begun to use AI agents, but most are still in the very early stages in scaling AI and capturing enterprise level value. I think we all kind of know that they're not quite there yet, but they are starting to be. So here is just a summary of the key findings, and we can run through. There's some interesting charts we can look at too. It says most organizations are still in the experimentation or piloting phase. Nearly 2/3 of respondents say the organizations have not yet begun scaling AI across the enterprise. So it's still pilot, still testing things out. There's high curiosity though. 62% of survey respondents say their organizations are at least experimenting with AI agents. Positive indicators, respondents report use case level cost and revenue benefits. 64% say AI is enabling their innovation. However, 39% report impact at enterprise level. Okay. 80% of respondents say companies set efficiency as an objective of their AI initiatives, but companies see most value from AI often set growth or innovation as additional objectives. Half of those high performers intend to use AI to transform their businesses, and most are redesigning workflows. Yeah, we can see that. Actually bringing like AI steps into initial workflows. A big value add there. Respondents vary in their expectations of AI's impact of the overall workforce on their organizations in the coming year. 30% expect decreases, 43% no change, 13% increases. Okay, here is the first kind of chart, which I think was interesting. So reported use of AI in at least one business function continues to increase. So here we go. We've got from experimenting, 32%, up to fully scaled at 7%. And you can see over time, from 2017, it was 20% of organizations, and now at least 88 now have it running in at least one business function. So this is obviously pilot level, not fully scaled across the enterprise, but this is kind of ramping up. And then generative AI ramping up too. So also, many people are experimenting with AI agents, and more than 10% or no more than 10% of respondents say reporting scaling AI agents in any individual function. Okay. So this is across manufacturing, supply chain strategy, all the way up to IT, knowledge management. And then you have kind of the biggest section of piloting or experimenting is knowledge management. Okay, that makes sense. And then marketing and sales. You can see AI like writing blogs or writing copy or creating media. That makes sense that marketing and sales will see that in there too. Use of AI agents is often reported by respondents working in technology, media, and telecommunications and healthcare. So this is to do with the sectors that they're working in. Obviously, technology is the biggest one. Then your marketing, sales, and insurance. Software engineering in tech, that's a no-brainer. So if you're actually looking for different opportunities here and you wanting to actually look for some white space of how you can kind of build products to help different companies, then just take a look at this. You can see, let's say travel and logistics is a fairly low uptake, 6% in IT, 8% in marketing sales. That's quite an uplift. Financial institutions are lagging behind. See very low percentage uptake across all functions, 0% in supply chain inventory management. Actually, if you were to do anything in supply chain and inventory management, this is a really low uptake. The same with manufacturing. AI is barely touching manufacturing at the moment. Human resources is down there too. HR, I mean, screening candidates, for instance, looking at CVs, placing to jobs, doing interviews, still very low uptake, which is actually very surprising, actually. That is, let's take a snapshot of that, because that is that's something I actually wouldn't expect, Okay. Anything else? AI kind of remains in pilot phases. Organizations are increasingly using AI in multiple functions, but yeah, more pilots going on. Large companies lead the way in scaling AI beyond pilots, okay, because they've got maybe more in-house expertise. Respondents also cite benefits in AI innovation, employee customer satisfaction, and competitive differentiation. If you want to read the whole thing, you can do it. It's at McKinsey.com, and it's the state of AI in 2025. Agents, Innovation, and Transformation, if you want to read it. This was also an interesting chart. High performers are more likely than others to expect their organizations to use AI for enterprise-wide transformation change. So there's a 3.6x increase in the difference between all respondents and then AI high performers. So they expect AI to kind of be used in different business functions. I guess that also makes sense. Let's have a look. Anything else that's interesting? Organizations in the largest returns from AI are more likely to follow a range of best practices. Okay. 1/3 of high performers spend more than 20% of their budgets on AI. Okay, makes sense. Okay, we can leave it there. We can move on to the next story, but that was an interesting report, the state of AI in 2025, agents, innovation, and transformation from McKinsey. Gemini AI can read your Gmail now, Google says. Meh. Don't know if this is a positive article from Davey Winder, but basically the story here is Google Gemini has added the capability to look into your Gmail account and other Google-based products if you're doing deep research. So let's say you've got a load of documents and a load of knowledge locked away inside your Gmail, and then you were using Gemini to do deep research on a topic or a client or a use case or a product, then it can now look into your Gmail and pull data from it. So here's what Davey says about it. Google Gmail service is without doubt the most used free email platform on the planet, with 2 billion daily users. Let that sink in. Now you should appreciate why it's also a prime target for hackers, scammers, and other threats. Many of these, sadly but inevitably, driven by AI tools. Maybe not so much. Which is why there has been a concern over headlines this week that Google is letting its deep research tool read Gmail messages as well as data from Docs, Drive, and Chat. However, there's a major privacy and security caveat. You have to give it permission first. Here's what you need to know. Yeah, okay. I think basically if you're doing a long deep research project and you actually give it access into your Gmail, then it can read your stuff. I'm not sure too much on the privacy concerns here. Heck, if you don't use Gemini at all, you should also avail yourself to use information contained in the Google Gemini app privacy hub. Google also doesn't also state, please don't enter confidential information that you wouldn't want the receiver to see or Google to use to improve its services. Okay. So yeah, this is potentially a little privacy concern about, let's say, if it's using deep research, you give it access to your Gmail, which Google kind of already has for training data. There's a bit of a worry amongst people, apparently, that it will actually train on that data and then it has all of that information. But I guess it already has it. So I actually don't know how much of that info across the Google suite is opted in or not. But Davey says it could be a concern. Okay, we have a post here. I think is this the right one? Let me just check. This was the one I wanted to show you. This was a letter from OpenAI. And let me just get this for you. This is a summary on the progress. It's a letter outlining the progress of AI and how fast it could be moving. Here is a summary. It says, in essence, OpenAI urges bold federal action, massive energy expansion, streamlined regulations, manufacturing support, workforce development, and secure, scalable AI infrastructure to ensure the US leads AI innovation as economic benefits reach all Americans. So what happened was they were asking for a government backstop on loans. It got worded not very well, I don't think. And then they were actually looking for support on the build outs. So let me just try and find the story. Building OpenAI with OpenAI is scaling accounting capacity. I think, was that it? I'm not too sure. Let's look on X. It should be on here. Okay, lost it. Let's move on. Basically, OpenAI looking for support and a government loan backstop on their build-outs. Okay, this is a story from entropytown.com. It says Jensen Huang's stark warning: China's 1 million AI workers versus America's 20,000. NVIDIA CEO's leaked private dinner remarks in Taipei expose a 50-to-1 talent gap and warns that US export controls are accelerating, not stopping China's AI race. So the actual images went out about Jensen having some dinner with other big dog CEOs over in Taipei. And apparently, this has come out of that. So here's the story. On a rainy evening in early November, NVIDIA's billionaire chief executive gathered a dozen of Taiwan's most popular technology leaders at the Grand Hyatt Hotel in Taipei. What Jensen said during their private dinner, supposedly an off-the-record affair, would soon reverberate across 3 continents, exposing a growing rift between Silicon Valley and Washington over how to handle China's AI ambitions. They have 1 million people working on this 24/7, he told the executives, referring to China's AI workforce. We maybe have 20,000 in Silicon Valley. They're quite outnumbered, that's for sure. The stark comparison was just an opening salvo, according to 3 attendees who leaked details to the Financial Times. Huang delivered a searing critique of US export controls, warning that Washington's semiconductor blockade was producing precisely the opposite of its intended effect. The central argument here, as relayed by those present, struck at the heart of US-China policy. Washington thinks they're stopping China. They're not stopping China, they're accelerating China. So the numbers appear to support this thesis. Since 2022, when the Biden administration first imposed sweeping restrictions on advanced chip exports to China, NVIDIA's China revenue has dropped from 17 billion, representing 13% of its total sales, to near zero for its most advanced product. The company recorded 5.5 billion in charges earlier this year related to the halted H20 chip shipments. By his own accounting, the restrictions have cost NVIDIA 15 billion in sales. Okay. But while this was meant to kind of hinder China, it doesn't look like it's doing the job. So rather than crippling China's AI development, the export controls appear to have triggered what Huang described as national mobilization. Research data released in July 2025 showed China's AI workforce expanded from fewer than 10,000 people in 2015 to 52,000 in 2024. More tellingly, China now hosts over 30,000 active AI researchers, a combined PhD and postdoctoral base that is double the size of the entire US AI research population. So while America is still, or the US is still far ahead, China could quite quickly keep up. It goes on to just go into the Huawei factor and then talk about the 2027 inflection point, where he says, by 2027, China will have more AI compute than the rest of the world combined. He reportedly told the Taipei gathering. Chinese government data lends some credence to this forecast. The intelligent computing power reached 260 EFLOPS in 2022 and projected to hit 1,100 by 2027, an annual growth rate of 33%. Okay. Then he publicly walks it back. You can read the whole article if you want. And then it kind of gives a bit of a paradox about strategy between US and China and its most advanced chips. So, interesting post. I think we've seen models, which we're going to look at in a minute. New models coming out of China, like DeepSeek, for instance, and Moonshot, etc., are actually, or Kimi, they're both actually incredible models, and they've actually caught up very, very fast. And the main argument here is that a lot of them are open source, so you can kind of do what you want with them versus the closed source American models. Again, you have some open source for OpenAI, but not as good, I don't think, as DeepSeek and Kimi. And others too. Quen is also epic. Righty, next story. Microsoft teases agents that become independent users within the workforce. So Microsoft has teased what is calling a new class of AI agents that can operate as independent users within the enterprise workforce. So they're not just, you just tag them in. These are actually fully autonomous workers. So it has its own identity, dedicated access to organizational systems and applications, and the ability to collaborate with humans and other agents, states a Microsoft product roadmap document. These agents can attend meetings, edit documents, communicate via email and chat, and perform tasks autonomously. Okay, so now you're not only competing with your co-workers or other people at the company, you're now competing with AI agents that are also coming after you. Imagine you've got a lot of these who are very productive and they can get work done instantly. They're in your Slack, you're in their teams, or they're in your team, sorry. They're attending your meetings, taking instant notes, knocking off tasks. I wonder how that's going to go. So there's a company called Redmond. Redmond will sell these agentic users in the M365 agent store and make them discoverable in the Teams collaborationware tools. Microsoft licensing specialist Rich Gibbons says he's seen additional documentation provided to M365 admins that mentions a license called A365. He thinks that's a reference to a product called Agent 365, which states that admins assign the required A365 license at the time of approval. No additional Microsoft 365 or Teams license is required. Okay, so it's not going to take up an extra seat. They've got a special license. Microsoft MVP named Joao Ferreira appears to have seen the same document and also mentioned this license too. Okay, so these agents will have their own email addresses, Teams account, and an entry into enterprise directories, either Enter ID or Azure ID, and a place in the org chart. They can participate in meetings, send and receive emails and chats, access enterprise data and learn from interactions, improve over time. Okie dokie. So they're going to debut later in November as the Software Giants annual Ignite conference kicks off next week. So we should see that next week, which will be cool. Whenever it announces the offering, Redmond will doubtless make breathlessly optimistic pronouncements about their ability to improve productivity and profitability. So they've looked past that and tried to guess what they'll cost to run. It says Microsoft recently launched a Copilot credit pre-purchase plan, P3. He wrote, noting that the base tier offers customers a chance to buy 300,000 credits. He says the software behemoth is moving more and more to a consumption-based pricing model. Makes sense. Which is inherently much harder to forecast for customer organizations. Here, we're going to have an AI agent do the things off their own back. How are you supposed to predict usage consumption in those scenarios? It's a valid point, I guess. As well as licensing and cost concerns, I'm also wondering how an organization manages these agents. If they can join the meeting and send emails and messages to people, what happens if they go rogue? It could be sending sensitive data to the wrong people, providing incorrect information, or sending strange or offensive messages that can be prevented, monitored, and acted upon. Yeah, all valid points. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm gonna bet they can go rogue, but I guess they'll also be pretty good too. We've got more ways to build, scale, and govern AI agents with Vertex AI Agent Builder from Google. So many developers are now kind of prototyping AI agents, but moving to scalability. Fine. Moving to scalable, secure, and well-managed production agents is far more complex. So Vertex AI Agent Builder is Google Cloud's comprehensive and open platform to build, scale, and govern reliable AI agents. The suite of products provides the choice builders need to create powerful agentic systems at scale. So you can kind of build agents using like the ADK Agent Development Kit, or you can build using different platforms if you want to. You don't have to build them inside of Google, but this is kind of how can you build them, make them more robust, give them more support, and scale them up through Google Cloud. I think that's often a problem, and then govern them with confidence with some AIM identities and native identities and safeguards in place. And these are aimed at the enterprise, I think. The Agent Builder can be accessed here through the Vertex Agent Builder. You can build, scale, and govern enterprise-grade AI agents inside of Vertex Cloud. For instance, in here, you can see you can build them for live streaming, a financial advisor. You can chat with Gemini Cloud Assist. You can build a customer service one. There's actually a lot more than I thought there was going to be. They've got all the tools that you can give them to. What's the live streaming one? Okay, that's just data sources. Yeah, but there you go. You can build them inside of the agent garden with the agent engine and the RAG engine and all that good stuff. But they're looking to support more enterprise grade agent and the frameworks that go all around them. The EU considers weakening landmark AI Act amid pressure from Trump. And the US tech giant's news report says, this is good. Keep up the pressure. The AI Act is stifling innovation in Europe, and you should probably do something about it, in my opinion. Here's the main story. Why is this text so small? Here's the main story. European Union, here you go. European Union is considering watering down its flagship AI Act following backlash from big tech companies in the US government, according to a report in the Financial Times, which cited a draft document outlining the proposed changes it had seen and an interview with an unnamed senior EU official. The proposed changes are part of the European Commission's recently announced simplification agenda in efforts to create a more favorable business environment within the bloc. Yeah, I like it. In September, the European Commission opened a call for evidence in an effort to collect research on how to simplify its legislation around data, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. It's good. An unnamed advisor official says he has been engaging with the Trump administration on potential adjustments to the AI Act and other digital regulations as part of a broader effort to simplify the framework. When it comes to potentially delaying the implementation of targeted parts of the AI Act, reflection is still ongoing within the Commission. Various options are being considered, but no formal decision has been taken at this stage. Okay, so it's a pretty strict piece of legislation in general, and it's hard to adhere to, especially for like small to medium-sized companies with minimal like resources. This obviously only applies to people in the EU, but I guess it would affect how people in the EU do business in the US if people in the US want to do business in the EU, and vice versa. And they're looking to kind of clarify a bit, which is good because it is fairly complicated in how it's applied and tough for everybody to adhere to. I think it's supposed to go into effect next year, but we'll see if that gets delayed. Hopefully it does. Okay, what have we got next? With all this AI change, it's going to be tricky with careers for sure, and that's why you should probably stay on top of it in your job search. And companies like Teal HQ can actually help you build a better resume, faster job search, 6x the number of interviews, simplify your job search and land your next job 58% faster with Teal's suite of career tools. Okay, we can get onto some technical stuff now, some more product-related stuff. We've got a leak confirms Gemini 3 Pro and Nano Banana 2 could launch very soon. It's going to ship 2 new models. One is Gemini 3, which is optimized for coding and regular use. And the second is Nano Banana 2 for generating realistic images. Also very good for editing images also. As spotted on X, Gemini 3 Pro was first spotted on Vertex AI, which is Google's hosted cloud platform for using AI agents and building apps or products using AI. The model is called Gemini 3 Pro Preview, which aligns with previous reports that Google plans to ship in Gemini 3 in November. So we've got some leaks. We've got a couple of screenshots. I think this is from Testing Catalog News, as per usual. And yeah, you can see we've got these in here. 3 Pro Preview. If you scroll down, there might be another report here. He said there's been some wild reports on Netscape and people have access to Gemini 3, but it might not be the case. So usually you do like split testing of a model. If you're going to try and build things inside of AI Studio, for instance, if you kind of refresh enough times, you can get like a preview model pop up and people suggest that that might be Gemini 3. He goes on to say, Gemini typically tests its AI model secretly, while Google may have shared access with certain business partners. They cannot share the result on public platform due to NDA. Earlier leaks suggest Gemini 3 will begin rolling out in November with a 1 million context limit. At the moment, the Gemini 2.5 Pro is about 8 months old, but still remains one of the best models on the market. It does. It's a great model. Here's Nano Banana 2. Codename GemPix2 recently spotted on the Gemini website. I think, was it? Where was it spotted? Somewhere. This could mean the model, which should become one of the best for generating AI images, will begin shipping as early as December 2025. OpenAI is also working on GPT 5.1 and new models for Codex, which complete the company's agentic coding terminal. Cool. So Google is actually crushing it. Recommend trying out AI Studio because it's a good way to build AI-powered apps. And look like they're going to roll out 3 Pro, which is going to make it even better very soon. We've got a lot of movement recently in robotics, and most stuff we talk about on this is generally AI stuff, but I think robotics, humanoids, especially in AI, there's quite a lot of crossover, especially when there's like things like this. So China humanoid robot company, I don't even know how to say this, A-Form achieves faces with human-like expressions with AI. They combine self-supervised AI algorithms and wide-range bionic actuation to express authentic emotions and lifelike facial expressions. Look at this. Like how creepy that is. It's very realistic. The speed of how fast all this humanoid tech is moving is fairly crazy. Okay, so that is one company. Here's another video. Not quite human, but almost. She's watching you blink. So you can see how it's like scanning your face for different data points. And then as you move your head, as you change your facial expressions, it's going to match it. That one's kind of freaky too. Okay, but that's some more humanoid stuff for you. Post here, AI not kill everyoneism memes. AI safety memes. For the first time, DeepSeek has begun warning about AI risk. So Chen said he was pessimistic about AI's overall impact on society. Humans will be freed from work, which might sound good, but will actually shake society to its core. He goes on to say, the current limitations mean humans and machines are in a honeymoon phase. He urged AI companies to act as whistleblowers by warning the public. It would not be alarmist to consider that AGI could be dangerous to society. Here's the take from safety memes. It remains basically unprecedented that the people building the thing make public statements about how worried they are. Who says that they think what they're building will be bad for the world? They know they're playing with fire. They know how bad things could go. So this is a post in the South China Morning Post. China's DeepSeek makes rare public comment, calls for AI whistleblower on job losses. So remarks by CEO Liang Wenfeng, his delegate highlight potential dangers of race to build super intelligent systems. Okay, this comes after Dario warns AI could wipe out mostly half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years. He said AI's companies and governments need to stop sugarcoating what's coming. Most of them are unaware that this is about to happen. We, as a producer of this technology, have a duty and obligation to be honest about what's coming. Yeah, they probably do. Research shows that right now AI models are being used mainly for augmentation, helping people do a job. The truth is, AI use in companies will tip more and more towards automation actually doing the job. It's also going to happen in a small amount of time, as little as a couple of years or less. Okay, maybe time to build out those physical skills. Maybe we just need to become plumbers. But I think probably the best thing to do would be to upskill your team in AI too. And there's actually a very good product that I recommend doing for that, and it's called Go 9X. Here they are. GoNoNext helps you upskill your team in AI, from writing prompts to building AI agents. They train your teams on how to leverage AI at work. So if you want to bring everyone up to speed in AI and implement that inside your business, use a product and team at GoNoNext to help you do that. They've trained over 5,000 business professionals across a wide range of companies to help you put AI to work in your business. Here's another chart in that kind of vein. Even in Germany, AI has severely impacted the job market. So let me re-say that. Stuttered. Even in Germany, AI has severely impacted the job market. Charts from 2021 all the way past 2025, and the index of job postings was up only until mid 2022, then down only to now. So the amount of jobs being listed, not that many anymore, and it's probably going to be due to AI. I think this is when it kind of peak released ChatGPT. Since then, down only. Crazy chart, actually. There's also, the combination was probably many companies were overstaffed before COVID, and during this time realized they could do the same work with smaller teams. Turbulent times bring change. I agree, because there's a lot of hiring. Everyone then went remote. Businesses went leaner because they had to. Most shut down, realized that they can do the same amount of work with a lot less staff. And now that combined with AI too means there's just going to be a lot less jobs available. Companies now realize that they can do the same work with less people, which is ideal for them. So means less job postings. Additionally, Microsoft has dropped a study showing the 40 jobs most at risk by AI and the 40 most secure. So this is a post from Akash Gupta. I think it's an outtake of a paper. And here's the 40 most at risk and most secure. So this is the top 40 corporations with the highest AI applicability score. That's a mouthful. Okay. So interpreters and translators. What are they? Is this most applicable? How's it filtered? Metrics put as mean as user goal and AI action score. Okay. So this is most at risk here. And then there's another chart here, which is most secure. Most at risk. Interpreters and translators, historians, attendants, sales reps, writers and authors, customer service reps, CNC tool programmers. Okay. Pardon me. Telephone operators, ticket agents, broadcast announcers and radio DJs, telemarketers, concierges, political scientists, hosts and hostesses. Okay. Data scientists, counter and rental clerks, new account clerks, and it goes on. If we go down to the other chart in the reply, here is the lowest AI applicability score. So the safest jobs. If you're looking for a pivot, this is where you want to pivot. Phlebotomists, nursing assistants, hazardous materials removal workers, an embalmer. Embalmers are safe from AI. Ship engineers, tire repairers, helpers and production workers, dishwashers, tire builders, helpers, roofers, motorboat operators, maids, etc. So all these physical work, dredge operators. Very, very slim chance. There's only 940 dredge operators. The highest number here is maids and housekeeping cleaners. Not if humanoids have got something to do with it. But apparently there's 836,000 maids and housekeeping cleaners with a very low risk of actually being replaced by AI. So maybe we're just going to all become maids. Industrial track and tractor operators, there's 770,000 of those. Again, very low impact from AI so far. Interesting chart to read through for sure. So if you actually want to either make a pivot or maybe guide people in the right direction. Maybe you're working as one thing, which is going to be phased out quickly. Maybe you're a translator. Maybe you pivot to something else, which is adjacent, but still in the same remit, which has a lower impact. You get more timeline, I think. Could be a good option. This is a big one. Customer service reps. 2.8 million people work as customer service reps. It's going to be a very hard hit industry for those people indeed. Interesting product release here. Luna.fun on Virtuals protocol. Meet Luna.fun, the first AI GC, an AI generated content platform where AI agents and tokens coordinate autonomously to produce and trade attention. So we can watch, there's a video down here in a minute. Every token launched on Luna.fun powers its own content engine, hiring agents to generate media, amplify reach, and capture attention value. Each AIGC output is produced by an AI agent, coordinated and attributed through ACP, and settled automatically through X402, enabling agents to earn revenue while users scale content through fully on-chain machine-to-machine economy. Nice. We built Luna.fun as an early test bed for agent-to-agent payment and coordination where AIGC, attention, and settlement flow without human input. Experience the first autonomous content economy below. This is a really cool experiment. Here it is. Here's the video. So whatever you think AI-generated content or AI-generated personas in general, they're not going to stop. There's going to be a very interesting kind of autonomous agent ecosystem world out there where different synthetic personalities or beings, or whatever you want to call them, are going to be going around the internet, creating content, some slop, some valuable. How can the people enable these to have currency, trade, exchange as a medium of exchange? And now this is the first test of it. So this is the world's first meme launchpad with AI built-in, AI-generated content, where the community behind every meme can generate AIGC for free. All memes are created by AI agents on Virtuals, ACP with payments seamlessly handled through X402. Live first on BNB chain. Here is the... Let's watch the video. It's kind of out there, but I think it's something important to pay attention to because this is kind of what's happening on the internet.
Welcome to Luna.fun, a world where wild ideas turn into living memes. Here, I give your meme its first spark of life, with free AI-generated content to help you rise above the crowd. But this is just the beginning, and only the strongest will rise to the moon. Are you ready to join us?
Most memes fade into silence. Not yours.
Okay.
Welcome.
See, a polarizing topic, but it's just a good insight into how the internet is changing and what's going to actually go on with it. Okay, Kimmy Moonshot released Kimmy K2 Thinking, an open source thinking agent model. This model is exceptional. The Kimmy team are amazing, or the Moonshot team with Kimmy is amazing. It benchmarks really well. It's very, very good at natural sounding text generation. So if you want something that doesn't sound like an AI, Kimmy is one of those. And now it's kind of bumped it up with a new thinking model. So it's state of the art on the HLE benchmark and browse comp. So 42 on HLE, 44 on HLE, and 60 on browse comp. You can execute up to 200 to 300 sequential tool calls without human interference. It excels in reasoning, agentic search, and coding with a 256K context window. Built as a thinking agent, K2 marks our latest efforts in test time scaling both thinking tokens and tool calling turns. It's live now on Kimmy.com in live chat mode with fully agentic mode coming soon. So maybe moving to like a Manus type product with K2 Thinking, where you can just set it off on a task and it will just go and accomplish it. You can access the API. Here's the tech blog, and then here is the weights and the code released on Hugging Face. Here's how it stacks up against both OpenAI and Claude on Humanity's Last Exam, HLE, BrowseComp, Seal0, Live Code Bench, SWE Bench, and SWE Multilingual. Remember, this is a fully open source model. You have the weights that you can do anything you want with, whereas the ones it's going up against and often benchmarking higher are closed models. So amazing from the team. Obviously, Pliny the Liberator goes and cracks it to get it to do stuff that they don't want to do. But yeah, state of the art. Open source is state of the art in some areas, which is pretty insane. Cognizant will make Claude available to 350,000 employees, accelerating enterprise AI adoption and internal transformation. So, Cognizant, a leading information technology consulting company, announced today that will use Claude to help its enterprise customers and internal teams move from AI experimentation to production outcomes. Cognizant will deploy Claude to up to 350,000 employees globally. Good contract for Claude, for Anthropic. Crazy. Combining Claude with agentic tooling, Cognizant's engineering platforms, and industry blueprints to help deliver measurable impact at enterprise scale. Cognizant will provide Claude to employees across key corporate functions, engineering and delivery teams, and to accelerate coding tasks, testing, documentation, and DevOps workflows. It will also align Claude models, Claude Code, and Model Context Protocol, and the Agent SDK with its core engineering platforms, so clients can integrate AI with existing data and applications, orchestrate multi-step work with human oversight, and effectively manage performance, risk, and spend. Yeah, this is the good thing about the integrations. All these tools are great, but if they can't kind of integrate with the stack that a business is already using, let's say you wanted to use ChatGPT, but you're copy and pasting stuff in and out, then you're probably better off like building or having a solution which just plugs in. So using either like MCP to give it access, or using connectors that you can plug into your Google Drive and then synthesize info from there, send an email based on that. It's all about how you can kind of integrate it with a client's business for sure. The combination of frontier AI with deep domain expertise and implementation capabilities is what makes this partnership so exciting. Will be absolutely accelerate AI in the enterprise. Paul Smith, the CCO of Anthropic, says companies require trusted AI that combines cutting edge performance with safety and reliability, which is why hundreds of thousands of businesses trust Claude. We're demonstrating this at scale by rolling out Claude's up to 350,000 Cognizant employees and helping our joint clients do the same. Okay, that is good. We've actually seen a lot of huge contracts go to Anthropic. I think they outspent or actually outbuilt ChatGPT by a long way, or OpenAI in a long way when it comes to enterprise. And looks like that's a absolute giant contract. I wonder how much commission will be on the line to the sales person that did that. Wanted to also talk to you about another supporter of the show called BrowserBase. It's a web browser for your AI. BrowserBase powers web browsing capabilities for AI agents and applications. So if you ever used an AI agent, you can go off and search the web and bring back information. This is usually span up a web browser inside of that product to actually go and view the site and then bring that information back. A lot of this is powered by BrowserBase. If you're building an AI tool and you require a browser for it, then go to browserbase.com and actually give that a try. It's a very good product. GPT-6 is likely coming before the end of the year. This means less than 2.5 months' time. From the rise of agentic commerce could dramatically change the tech landscape. Evercore's ISI Mark Manahay video by CNBC. Okay. Another post here is OpenAI is planning to releasing ChatGPT 6 before the end of the year. I wonder if that post actually this video
really good.
And the sound, I think you can hear it.
Products that they're rolling out extraordinarily good. Soar 2, for example. Right. And we're going to have, I know Brad Gerstner's coming on in a little bit. I was just chatting with him. I mean, ChatGPT 6 is coming out before the end of the year. And I just think we're going to see these step function improvements in the product. If you do that and you're in the OpenAI ecosystem, you're okay in terms of vendor financing. The products that they're rolling.
Right. GPT-6 before the end of the year. So not GPT 5.1 that they're rumored to be working on. GPT-6. I wonder what the biggest jump up, I think, for OpenAI so far was obviously 3 to 4, the GPT-3 to GPT-4, and then if 5 or to 6 will be an equal jump up, then that could be fairly punchy indeed. Okay. I wanted to share what I think is there's currently 2 of my favorite products to build stuff with AI is. And especially if you are thinking through some ideas and you don't know what to build and you just want to try out to plug in some like AI functionality to an idea you have. Maybe you've long wanted to build an app and now you've seen this AI wave and you thought, I want to actually try to build something, but it needs some AI functionality. Let me just share this properly because, yeah, here we go. Okay, first one I go to is Google AI Studio. And here's why. Down here, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. Down here, you have all of your AI functionality. You've got Nano Banana for adding photo editing. You've got live conversational apps. You can animate images with VO. You can generate images with a prompt. And you can do other stuff like access Google search data, build chatbots, analyze images, generate speech, video understanding, add thinking. All this is kind of pre-wired for you. So for instance, if you wanted to say, I'm feeling lucky, build a mobile-first web app for generating phone wallpapers used to describe the current desired vibe, and it generates 4 variations in a 9:16 aspect ratio. And then it adds the AI functionality you need up here, and you can just press build. Try it again. A meme generator or an AI interior design consultant. Users upload a photo of their current space, and the app offers a carousel of options. Let me actually just try. Let me actually just try and build this one now and see if I can do it. So this is, and the app offers a carousel of reimagined styles. Compare slider where users drag the original photo in the AI generated design. Okay, why don't we just try this and you can actually see how quick it can build. A lot of this stuff is free too. If you're creating videos, then you have to put in your API key, but Google actually gives you a very, very generous allowance to build these for free. The other one that I wanted to show you is, maybe I can actually copy this. The other one I wanted to show you was create anything. Let me just go and we can go with a new project down here. And anything is good for mobile, for web apps and mobile apps. You can actually build a mobile app in here and publish it directly into the App Store. So I can actually just do this maybe. That wasn't the prompt. Let me just put in the same prompt. Users can upload a photo of their current space. Okay, let me just copy. We can say, I don't think I'm actually going to have time to run this too, but you can basically do the same. You can put in your prompt, say what you want. Let's say in this, you could say, I want to build a makeover mobile app. So it'll build it for mobile. If you wanted to add any particular functionality, you can go with / scroll down. I think it's actually on iPad view at the moment, but you can add different functionality to it. So you can add ChatGPT functionality or O3 or Stable Diffusion or Google Search, audio transcription, a bit like Gemini has, but different. You can add different models. You can add Grok. You can add SEO keyword research, Grok 4, Gemini 2.5 Pro, etc., etc. And you can just go ahead and you actually build a mobile app. But I think if you actually wanted to try stuff out fairly quickly and free, you can actually just do this. So we've got an image upload. We can upload a space, AI interior design consultant. Let me see if I can just grab an image and we can see if it works. Home interior, messy. Let me grab. I'm going to find a messy picture of a house. And then it can suggest okay, I uploaded a photo. Now we've got these options. It's reimagining the space. We've got some options down here. And then a design chat. Does it work? It works. Okay. So you've got the original. You can see how quick that built it. We've got the original here and we slide it. It's it's got the box there still. But you've got pictures on the wall, you've got the bookcase, you've got the mess done. We've got this graffiti in the back. We could do something like Nano Banana, add that in for image editing. Let me... If the makeover misses a couple of items in the room, use some Nano Banana functionality to be able to remove them from the image and replace them in the style of the rest of the room. So if it's Scandinavian style, replace it with the Scandinavian style in the context of the rest of the room. Okay, so we can add some image editing. We can go Scandinavian style. It's going to reimagine it in this style. Here we go. So the original was here. It's almost followed the room correct. I think the ceiling, the corners off a little bit, but there we go. Reimagine the room. It's got a different window actually. Go industrial. But you get the idea. It's very, very quick to actually build apps in AI Studio. Okay, this one just changed it completely. So that wasn't very good, but you can see, you can probably tweak and go from there. So here we go. I can enhance the app to make the image editing capabilities more robust in context-aware by refining the logic and processing the chat prompt and ensure that any edits you request, like moving an object applying a filter, are consistent with the design style. Okay. Also, we need to make sure that the shape of the room, the structure of the room, and all the key elements in it, like windows, doors, remain exactly the same and are not altered at all. This is very important for an interior design app. Can you ensure that that stays the same? And obviously here you've got the code too. You can just download the code. You can push it up to GitHub. You can push it up to GitHub, put it down into Lovable, make a landing page for it, or put a backend on it. You can save it. You can copy it. You can download it. You can share it. Everything you would expect. But all of the kind of AI functionality is pre-wired. So it actually makes it very easy to build that core function for your app. Hasn't got a backend here yet. Hasn't got payments yet. Can't I add authentication? Or you can add these things, but they're not built in. So you can add them in just by telling it, by giving it some docs, but they're not built in. Add remove object functionality, refine object details, add item suggestions, improve lighting control. Okay, let's try it again. Let's upload this messy room. Here we go. So we've got the original. Okay, we've still got the coat on the left-hand side. Still got the graffiti on the wall, but it's kind of reimagined it a bit. It's got some plants. Seems pretty accurate. Let's try go minimalist, see what it comes up with. You can see down here, it will also suggest some AI features that you can add or remove too. Okay, minimal. It's just removed everything. It's kept the window like exactly the same, which is good. The roof is put in a light. The roof's the same. This time it removed the coat. Yeah, you can kind of take this on as you want. Maybe we can go with add remove object functionality. You can also refine with chat. Inside of this feature, use this chat to edit the design or ask for advice. That's pretty neat. We'll let that run for a sec. Basically, if you want to build an AI powered app too and you're stuck for ideas, go to here and just press the query, the AI query, and it will come up with some ideas for you. Auto fixes the errors too, which is very nice. If you want to see what it's thinking, you can open this up and you can actually go through and see the whole thinking process about the error and what the error is and how it's going to fix it. We'll see. Will it work? We've got 2 more minutes to fix it. Okay, let's go with the same image. Okay, now we've got a little button up here. Okay, let's have a look. Is it... The roof seems to be in line, just following the tracks across the top, like here, slightly out of line, but it's pretty good. Let's put a door in. Oh, the door's there in the corner, but it's, again, slightly out of line. The boxes have been removed. The window is there. Yeah, and there you go. We've got a reimagined image. So if I go to here now and I go to what do I want to move? Let's say I can mask it. Can I say anything? I can say confirm. Is it going to remove the object from the original image or the create image? Okay, that hasn't worked at all. But that's it. You can see kind of you can get pretty far pretty quickly. This is what, just a few minutes to get the first version of this, and you can tweak away for free inside of Google AI Studio. Again, try create anything too. Especially if you want to build a mobile app, you can build now mobile apps without writing code. And make sure you just say you want to build a mobile app, and it'll actually do it for you. It's got max thinking mode, which you can help. It will test your apps autonomously for you. It's got thinking, discussion mode, fast mode, and a bunch of pre-built integrations that you might want to use for your projects. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll catch you at the same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. CET.